Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Divine Diva, where my diva for today is Eve. So, welcome, Eve.
Hi, thank you for having me.
And if you would like to introduce yourself and tell a bit more about, who you are and what you do to our audience.
Yeah, sure. Most of my focus right now is actually in hosting retreats,
Mm-hmm.
and but the retreat is very special, and because I really focus on voice alchemy with the retreats, and there's even magic behind it. So I'll go through it with the transformation of the individual first, and what the retreat as a container holds for the transformation for the individual. You see, most people and how we operate in this world is really our subconscious mind is creating our entire world, and that's also called a paradigm. And here's where the problem lies: is that that paradigm or that subconscious mind is actually inherited from the people around us, the nature, our circumstances, our environments. That's why we speak the language
Mm-hmm.
that we speak. The problem lies when that subconscious mind that is controlling our lives, that is embedded in us, was inherited from other people,
Mm-hmm.
and they were also inherited by other people, by those same people.
Right.
So if the subconscious mind is fully responsible in creating your life,
Mm-hmm.
and we now know that it is this inherited universal mind that controls how we experience the world, how we tell the stories to ourselves, how we're experiencing the world. It's worth exploring.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. And most people go into their whole lives not even having this conversation or understanding what these parts of the mind are.
Mm-hmm.
And so most people are driving or moving through life thinking that the subconscious or the actual outer external environment is more of like happening to them as like as like, why is this happening to me, why is this why am I attracting these people, why am I attracting this experience?
But that's more
And
like living in a kind of victim mode, like, oh, it just all happens to me. I don't create it myself. It just happens.
and and that's not absolutely true, because we know that the subconscious is creating that environment. So now when you shift your perspective, and this, it's all consciousness perspective, when you shift your perspective from someone who is um I'm a victim or
Mm-hmm.
a body of my environment to I'm actually creating my environment subconsciously based out of my existing paradigms, beliefs, perspective that are inherited from society that's not necessarily clearly defined in my mind, because I haven't taken the time to actually get to know who I am,
Mm-hmm.
because the told me to learn as much as I can in the external world, which is what's supposed to be definitive of success.
Mm-hmm.
Only for me to learn that when I reach a certain level of success in the outer external world, it's not actually what it is for what it is. And it's an illusion, it's a mirage, because everything in the external world is always ever changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
It's
the only constant. It's ever changing.
And so the wisdom here is it's like, imagine building a dam where the
Mm-hmm.
water falls in a waterfall. Can you build a dam where the water falls?
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
can't. There's no way you can build a dam where the current is rapidly rushing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if you want to make permanent changes in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go up the stream.
Mm-hmm.
The stream where the conditions can still be changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you build the dam.
I thought you
That's
were going to say you have to learn a way to like quiet the water or dig deeper so you can make a stream of that waterfall.
to go up the stream from that waterfall.
Right. Yeah.
Build a dam, and that is where permanent changes happen.
Mm-hmm.
When you go way up the stream when you realize the source of where all the rapids are coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's that realization that you have to dig deeper and actually notice, okay, what limiting beliefs or thoughts or experiences are actually mine and not given to me by my parents, grandparents, and so on.
Precision in what are you looking for,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's a thought. Everything that exists into manifestation was once a thought. And if we have precision, the word, the perspective, the focus to say, I want to understand the paradigms that controls my life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest prayer that I had, the
Mm-hmm.
biggest manifestation. Help me understand my paradigm. Help me understand what's controlling, what's been, what I've been allowing to control my life,
I think that word allowing is pivotal here, right?
right? And
Mm.
when you become aware, because this is where I come from a Christian background, and this is where my prayers really ties into that, where I learned in biblical scriptures, ask and you shall receive,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's wisdom. There's so much wisdom in this world that's screaming at you,
Mm-hmm.
screaming. Even
Yeah.
at the present moment, we are being given signs, symbols, signals, paths, and at every moment of every time, we can shift timelines
Mm-hmm.
to a new possibility,
Mm-hmm.
outcome, right? But again, our conditioning is saying, what is she even talking about?
Right. The conditioning just wants to keep you small, but because when you realize how much power you have and that you can quantum leap or shift timelines, they're like, oh my gosh, she's way too powerful for us. Let's keep her small.
Fear, right? Fear
Right.
is fear is what keeps the container. See,
Mm-hmm.
the paradigm is a cage.
Right.
It's an illusion. It's actually this cage, whether it's a golden cage or whether it's a rusty old cage that we're telling ourselves. But
Mm-hmm.
and that's an illusion because clearly you can walk out freely, stretch your arms, say what you want, feel what you want, cry if you want. We've always had that freedom, right?
Yeah.
And so this is where the work that I do in terms of people in the retreat is I make you known that you are the driver and your body is the vehicle. Your soul is the driver. There is there is decision maker before that paradigm is triggered into activation. There is a part of you that says, is this truly what I want to say? If there's a camera, let's just say, if there's a camera filming me right now, and I'm the
Yeah.
super diva, like amazing actress in my life, actress in my life. Is this the words that I want to come out of my mouth? I think that's too expensive. I think that's too difficult. I think that's crazy. I think people are just using other people. Is that really how you want to be seen?
Hmm. Is that how you want to express your authenticity? Because it's not really authenticity then, right?
You're being a parrot to other people's ideas.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's magical because we can become parrots or we can become free speechers.
Yeah.
And parrots is like these inherited wisdom from wounded people that speak from their wound because you're looking for some kind of inspiration. And so you come into this space where it's like, I'm going to take this little bit of an idea, even though I haven't fully embodied it.
Right.
Right. And so this is where are we speaking from our soul or are we speaking from our wound when
Mm-hmm.
we face?
Mm.
Are we speaking from the ashes or are we speaking from cries?
Mm. That's powerful, isn't it?
Because we are powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when that shift happens. Like, oh my gosh, I can actually do this, achieve this, say this, be this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would love to know in your view, what qualities does a divine diva have?
What qualities does a divine diva have? Someone who knows that
Hmm.
and actively for the rest of their life, because it is a lifelong work, or the
Hmm.
way by the time a child is two, they're shaped
Hmm.
emotionally. Because our first language is energy.
Yeah.
First language is energy, and that's a universal language.
Hmm. Yeah.
What is unspoken is felt as truth at an early age. And
Mm.
where dissonance comes at an early age, where our mind is saying, alert, alert, I'm in danger. But
Hmm.
then, or your heart, or your heart is saying, alert, alert, I'm in danger. And your mind is saying, well, I have to stay here because my parents are telling me I have to smile and wave
Yeah, and act normal.
and act normal. So
Hmm.
what time for dissonance at an early age and we don't even know it. And I'm not saying that's just parents, that could be anything.
Hmm. Exactly. Could be school teachers or peers or sisters, siblings, whatever. Hmm.
Because they also inherited this. And so we walk around in life with this dissonance, saying, this is now an idea that I'm going to walk around with. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm still going to say wave and hi, say hi and wave.
Hmm.
Ignore own primal, maternal instincts, turning off those levels of consciousness that actually makes us powerful from when we're a child to when we get older. We've already turned off like half of what we truly see or feel in the world.
Mm. Yeah, especially as children, we're all born, I think, psychic, and we are learned to shut that off because we're told, oh no, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything that's not there, and you're
You're the one crazy.
desensitized. Right, exactly. You're just desensitized to all your senses and all your clairs that are actually like open and active, and you're just denied that. So you just learn to act like, like one of the normal people and just go with the flow, which, and the flow is not even yours to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's fascinating how, as children, like you said, we're so open to that energy and to seeing it all and feeling it all, and then you just get to unlearn that. And as an adult, you have to relearn it again, right?
And this is where I talk about remembrance.
Yeah, exactly.
This is whenever I do my channeling transmissions through different means in my stories, and I'm very, very intentional with social media. I'm very intentional. If
Hmm.
people follow me in Instagram stories, they're walking a trail of remembrance.
Hmm.
And I'm doing this because I know one day my parents will look back and see what has she done. And if they were to ever look back, I want them to also remember their walk. And so this is really this is work that I do that's so intentional that every post are encrypted, that transmission for remembrance.
Hmm.
Remembrance where before the world had shaped us into what we think we want, what we consider success, how we're supposed to chase things, how we're supposed to create in life, who we're supposed to become.
Hmm.
Because the work, people think it's outside of themselves. I've got to try. I got to do something. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to think about it. It's like, no, you're actually, it's just remembering who you are.
Hmm.
It, that's all, that's actually what the work is. How are you operating without knowing that you're the one operating it?
Right.
How are
And
you?
it makes so much sense when you say it like that, but for most people, it's still unfathomable.
That's where you've got to find out why.
Hmm.
I'm, well, make time. It is your life. Your life depends on it. Clearly. You choose your partners, you choose your career, you choose your business, you choose the team members that'll work for you in your business from all of this. And you don't take the time to know the energetic state that you're vibrating in that's attracting these experiences, these people, these places, these things, that is shaping the outcome as a result.
Mhm.
Because the result is really just a vibrational frequency of potent energy, whether it's positive or negative, is determined by how well you've healed in your journey.
Mhm. Yeah, and build that foundation from here, from within.
Because everything is neutral.
Mhm.
Energy is neutral. You're neutral. I'm neutral. The story that we tell ourselves, the negative story, that is actually serves as a mirror. What am I learning from this interaction? Because I didn't meet you by accident. Nothing is in this world is by accident. This is where I don't even believe in the news when they say this person got hit by accident, blah blah blah, by accident, accident. There's no such thing.
Mhm.
All vibrational frequencies. It
Right.
means you are vibrating so low in life. You are not thinking of purpose. You're just living, like, life favors life. Life will always favor life.
Mhm. Life will always favor love as well.
Love, yeah, love, because that is life, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
so when you're vibrating in a lower frequency of state of anger, which is usually inherited,
Mhm.
right? When you become reactive, it's like, $300. What is this? And economy, this and that. I blame this politician and that politician. It's like you are creating your own vibrational frequency. And so this is the storytelling work that I do. This is you screaming from your wound, and keep talking. You're gonna attract people in the same vibration as you. And
And
you're
yeah, and usually in anger, there's a lot below it because anger usually stems from like feeling isolated, feeling lonely, feeling hurt, sad, whatever it is. But then anger follows after that.
it's just all ideas that are not yours.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need to be sad for when you've got breath? You can breathe. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't even need to think about it, and your heart is beating. So why are you sad?
Mm-hmm.
Your
Right.
body's working for you. What is there to be sad? You don't even have to do it, and your whole body is functioning for you to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that. What do you need to be sad about? There's this divine divinity in you that is pulsating through every part of your being, seen and unseen. What is there to be sad about? What is it?
That's like the ultimate mindfulness and being present, right?
What is this isolation that you're looking for? What else do you need? You have everything. You are everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are it. You are everything, and there's no need for external validation if the internal validation is all you need, right?
Your heart's beating.
Mm-hmm. Amen. And when did you realize your purpose or your gift for what you all just mentioned?
And so this goes back into the retreats, right? And the purpose, like you said. Um, I did a lot of inner work, and part of the soul journey that we have is understanding why we came here,
Mm-hmm.
why we manifested, or why we chose the parents that we chose, why we chose the timeline that we chose, why we chose this specific timeline where we have all of this infinite possibilities, where we know that things are welcome now. We didn't manifest into the 1800s where we know that the way we want to express
Mm-hmm.
won't be right. And so in this deep inner work, I found out my soul's journey, what's been happening in my past. And this is where I met Akumayase. Okay. Akumayase is my remembered name.
Mm-hmm.
She is bearer of light across waters. Okay. That's what it means for Aku. Mayase means one who remembers the song of creation and weaves it into the new worlds.
That's powerful.
Akumayase has been in the ancient Mayan times, where she is a water bearer. She brings light over the cenotes of Mexico people to pray for rain during drought, because these cenotes, they're portals to the underworld, the spirit world. And there's many of them in Mexico. I didn't make this up. It's been there.
Yeah.
Right? And they have these temples. The temples are simply antennas to connect with the celestial ancestors. The water has always been, and still will be, a really potent energy, that a very potent carrier of energy. So if you were to imagine this, that a live wire would touch water, they'd say, don't touch the water, you'd get electrocuted. Right? Why? Because the live wire has very potent intentional energy created by us. Touching water, that's an amplifier.
Yeah.
The same thing, we are actually, our vessels are live wires too. We're just
We're
constantly
amplifiers too. Yeah.
we're just constantly leaking because we don't know what the power we hold because of these subconscious programming. And so my work in the retreat is to make sure that you are this potent energy, like a live wire, connecting to the amplifier, which is water, so that you can pray from your soul, manifest from your soul, not from your wound. And that's the work that I do in the retreat, is that we're tapping into ancient technology. And I say ancient technology, it is ancient technology. Where your words will be amplified, your prayers will be amplified. So we need to know that it's coming from your soul, speaking from your soul. So the weekend, the retreat, is an activation of remembrance, utilizing the ancient technology, pairing that with it, so that your prayers, your manifestation, your tribe, your viewers will find you from the healed version of you, the soul version of you, the one that is here fulfilling that destiny.
And how important is that remembrance, like in embodiment and somatic work?
That's all the work that we should be doing, that we don't pay close enough attention to. Because every day, every moment you're manifesting, your tongue is manifesting, your tongue is alive, your body is the wand. We are always transmitting energy. That's why we make everything happen. We made Zoom happen. We made this conversation happen, everything. And when we don't create that inner alignment, that inner synchronicity to the divinity that is within us, the one before the world shaped who we are, again, we're creating from that same paradigm. And you know what? Lessons will appear in different ways, but it's the same lesson all the time.
Yeah, until you learn it.
So what are we really doing here? If we want to help the world, we want to help people, we want to save the world because we have all these beautiful gifts, start with yourself.
And then you can start to create that ripple effect, or as I mentioned before our talk, that's that spark that can light the spark in another person.
And guess what? You do that by knowing your light yourself. Not looking for people and saying, let me help you. Let me spark your spark so we can make a flame. No, you got that. You gotta be tall. See, even if you put two candles together and one has a very low fire, you put it together, the fire goes taller. But that's what happens to us. Energy, our light. Right? Because that's who we are. And so it's important for us to really remember our truest essence. It is not the person that wears these types of clothes, or this person who has this type of hair, or this person who made these choices, because those are all byproducts of unconscious patterns. Those are three-dimensional illusions that has no ground to your destiny.
And how do you protect your sacred energy?
How do I protect my sacred? You know what? That's a very interesting question. Because I was meditating last night and I was speaking to the oracle. I speak to the oracle and I ask these questions too. And um I was going through an interaction where it's obviously a story that's playing and unfolding in front of me. And the oracle asks me, would you like to pray for protection in case someone does look into you energetically?
Mhm.
So, because I know people have done this, and because I have clients that would say I had to ask a psychic about you before. I'm like, that's fine. You're paying me a lot of money. Go ask a psychic. They can
Mhm.
tell you exactly where I am. They they'd be like, that's a bright light. So, um, I asked them. I'm like, I asked the oracle, why do I need why do I need protection if someone's peeking into me energetically? Because I already know that people do that, right? And I'm saying, aren't they just gonna see light, like whatever I am? Like I have nothing, and even energetically, I have nothing to hide, right? And it says, you're right. That's not how. It's not actually just protection of them penetrating, but protection of their own projection. So essentially, it's a prayer for them to only think of their own light. So instead of, it's like it's not so much I need protection, it's more of like I'm aware I have power, and I know I have power enough to pray that if you were to ever think my way, may it only come from the love that we built together, not from the projection or
Mhm.
fear or subconscious conditioning that you're carrying when you look my way.
Right. That's good. That's wonderful. And I'm sorry, but I already have to ask my last question because our time is already almost up. And I would love to know, when do you feel most divine?
Um, when I'm in my power, when I am either meditating or like, I mean, meditating is all the time, but when I'm most coherent with my mind and my heart,
Mhm. In your
because
sacred energy?
my safe energy, when I'm present and I act on what my heart is saying.
Mhm.
That is when I'm, regardless of the circumstance,
Mhm.
regardless if it's gonna shake some cages up, regardless if it's gonna soften things up. When my heart says it's okay for you to speak your mind,
Mhm.
it's almost divine.
Mhm. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And yeah, it was a joy to talk to you. Thank
You're very much welcome.
you.